So that's my guy, and I listen to what he's saying. He leads me as a creative. He leads me into new thought and challenging my thought and forcing me to defend something that I believe in. You know what I mean? And not just saying because I want it that way. And shut up. You my son. You gonna do what I tell you to do. Do as I say and not as I do. Type shit. You know what I mean? I have intellectual conversations with him. He came to me and was like, "Yo, I guess he was thinking about why we don't play with guns." As I remember a while back, I told you I don't play with guns because shit, I really grew up with them. You know what I mean? I really grew up in heinous situations with that, perilous situations with that. You know what I mean? I wear war wounds because of such instances. And he came up to me one day and was like, "Yo," he was like, "Dad, so you carried a gun every day because you was you lived in a bad neighborhood?" And I said, "Yeah, there were instances that instruments of like that was around because of like the circumstance of the environment." He like, "So all your friends was doing that?" And I didn't want him to start thinking like this was like a cartoon or a video game or something like that. So I had to highlight to him like things that's on the news and with the police and with other with other like men on men, the violence and jails and things like that. So we had I'm talking to him about that, and then I had to bring up the origin of that, like the crack epidemic and how my mom is still on drugs and what that meant for me and my brother and in an environment that we grew up in the war. What was it? The war on drugs. What the war on drugs did to the Lower East Side of Buffalo? The crack epidemic. You know, I'm not happy about it, but I can't be ashamed of something that I survived. I endured. Like that could have killed me and claimed my lives in so many different ways, and I was able to turn that around and shatter paradigms and do something different. So I feel like that's culminating in that's like the capstone point to bring this episode to a close. What you think, Bruce?
I think so. I think that was the perfect way to close it.
Like sometimes you got to go up in your shell. Sometimes you got to go dig. You got to dig deep. You know what I mean? You got to go to the Dagobah system. Since May 4th was just right here. You know what I mean? May the force be with you. You got to go to the Dagobah system if you want the light. You got to go in that cave by yourself with no tools. And you got to trust that you got everything that you need to come out on that other side victorious. And it's gonna feel like it's gonna feel real lonely sometimes, but know that you just feel lonely. You need to do a self-interest inquiry, some inventory of what you got going on around you. Get some 360-degree feedback. Hang with people that love to hang with you just because you are who you are. Do things that you like to do just because they bring you joy and fulfillment. And don't be afraid to let others in on your process of doing what you do because they're curious. They're trying to tell you that there's value in whatever it is that you're doing because they're curious as to how you keep doing it consistently and making it look so effortless. And take that time that you largely think is your time to be lonely or being lonely to reflect on all the things that you are, all the things that you have so that you never need, and all the instances that you've always been provided for, even when you thought that you were in your most bleakest times. The universe provided, or whatever it is that you believe in, provided for you. You was never alone. Somehow, some way, you emerged on that other side in glory, in triumph, in success. Use that time instead of feeling like you alone. Think about it being think about you being in a space or in a time that you're the one and only person that can be thinking about what you're thinking about whatever problem it is that you're trying to solve in that moment. And it will behoove you to be disciplined in your thought and reflect. The answers, the cheat codes are within your reflection. And if you can't mine it out, bring it to me. Email me at phoenixinnovationgroup@gmail.com. DM me on Twitter at Naja True. DM me on Instagram at Ask the Phoenix. I'm on LinkedIn. Naja Bolden, management consultant, creativity strategist. I'm at the Burn Ward, Pearl Street, Buffalo, New York. Come holla at me. You know what I mean? I get you everywhere to come find me. Give me somewhere I can find you. Goose, where can they find you at?
Goose Slavy on everything.
Get at him. And if you into that R&B thing, where can they find you on SoundCloud?
Goose Slavy.
Goose Wavy.
On everything.
On everything. You just missed the Bomb Ass, what is it, Valentine's mix?
Yeah.
They're critically acclaimed every year.
I do Valentine's mix every year.
It's critically acclaimed, right?
It is.
It's got way more than 30, 40 followers.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. I've been going longer, though.
Huh?
I've been going longer, though.
Yeah. And we've been having significant growth.
We're just getting started.
Yeah, we got significant growth. You've seen it in a week's time.
Right.
We went up 200 plays, so I ain't happy. I'm happy about that. We went from 3,500, 3,700 plays. So this thing is steady growing and growing. And our market is expanding further and further. We overseas. We got people overseas checking in. So I know it's genuinely like driving an impact. Like people that's checking in, the people that's checking in with us, it's not like by happenstance. Like somebody just happens to be picking this up and listening to it. Like the people that's listening, that subscribe to us, they genuinely following like what's happening.
Absolutely.
So I am grateful to y'all. I appreciate y'all because y'all are who I'm doing this for. You know what I mean? This is my thoughts. This is what I've been able to come up with my research, with through my matriculation, through my studies, my disciplines, my travels, my conversations. These are all the strategies and things that I've been able to synthesize, man, from thin air. And I'm it's an honor to be of service, to have something to even share with you all. So, man, just know that I'm humbled to be here, and I'm grateful, and I'm eager, and I'm excited every time I get to come on here. Like you ask Goose, man, I'm saying every time we drop a joint, it's the best joint ever, straight up. We beat the falling card every time. You dig? So yeah, that's that. Another successful episode 32, right, Goose?
31.
Episode 31, you looked it up?
Episode 31.
My guy, thank you. Now I ain't got the ball without you, Goose. We still gonna ball together. You know what I mean? My guy. We might go out to this right here. Or it's gonna go out to my man Dame Dot, but I think we might have played that last time. Yeah, I think we got that in last time. We might have not, though, but it's always next time. You know what I mean? And if you want me to share my playlist with you, I just might. You know what I mean? If you know how to keep your hands to yourself, you might be able to share in my playlist. You know what I mean? As long as you ain't trying to add shit to my shit. You know what I mean? So until next time, kings and queens, what can they do, Goose?
Flame on.